We have Mr. Badlisyah Abdul Ghani, Executive Director and Chief Executive of CIMB Islamic Bank. Welcome, sir. There's a few questions I just want to pose to you subsequent to the discussions we have had. The first question I would like to pose to you is the other financial sectors and also the sukuk activity has been quite hit by the global financial crisis. So what do you see as the growth for sukuk in the months to come?
Well, let me correct that. The sukuk market or Islamic finance in general were not affected by the global financial crisis that originated in the US. However, there is secondary effect on the industry as a whole. When economic activities globally goes down, demand for financial services of course goes down in tandem. What has happened in the GCC market, for example, are not predominantly a problem of Islamic finance, is a problem of the financial market in general in the GCC in terms of the ability to get back the money that has been lended to borrowers in the GCC, because the bulk of the borrowing in Dubai, for example, are conventional financing and not Islamic finance. However, somehow or rather the discussion in the press, in the media, are mostly about how it has affected Islamic finance, but by right they should have discussed in general how it has affected the market.
So you mean to say that there has been negative comments or things that actually didn't happen, but they put it out like that regarding Islamic finance?
I mean, the fact is there have been some default by borrowers in Islamic financial transaction. That is a fact, but it has been blown out of proportion to the extent that people think that it is only default in the Islamic financial sector rather than default in the industry in general. Those issues are real in the Islamic finance sector, those default in the Islamic finance sectors. However, it does not really impact on the confidence of the industry because it is very, very small in comparison to the overall size of the industry. And if you look at the industry everywhere else in the world, it's just fine because the industry in other parts of the world are supported by effective regulatory framework that allows financiers to enforce their rights under financing transaction, and if the same regulatory framework or better is implemented in Dubai, for example, then Dubai will not have any such problem in the future.
The second question I have to you is where do you see the growth coming from for the Islamic financial sector, or rather let's corner it down to the sukuks, knowing for a fact that you are a sukuk expert yourself?
Well, the sukuk industry is growing quite rapidly. I think we're going to be closing the year with at least 25 to 28 billion dollar worth of transactions. I think a lot of demand is coming out from infrastructure development that are happening in Southeast Asia and the GCC, and we will see demand for sukuk growing as we move forward, and next year I would suspect the industry becoming even bigger with more domestic centric sukuk transaction happening on top of the global sukuk transactions that we are seeing today. Okay? So I think focus for now is to see how the domestic component of the sukuk industry will develop over the next few months.
And where do you see, or what is your expectations for sukuk, like you just now mentioned, in the coming years or in the years to come as well? You know, what type of predictions have you all made, like from CIMB? Have you all done any statistics or any predictions as to how much the industry is going to be?
As I mentioned just now, the industry will grow. I'm looking at about 25 to 28 billion this year. I think that would be a good average growth or size for the industry for the next few years. And if the industry continue to grow at that level over the next 3 to 4 years, in the long run, with greater secondary market activities, the demand for sukuk will definitely grow, because people see that there is real value not just at primary level but also at secondary level of the market, and I think there's no limit to how much it can grow.
Thank you very much, Mr.